Wow, that's pretty gay.
It's a shit-talking thing now, is it? Oh.
Hi guys, today we finally get to the cinnamon roll list. In case you haven't noticed, I have an appeal to go fight. Consider the last video covered 2 people, and as much as I'd love to blame KP, it sadly isn't. Some dipshit during his video said that their strike had some master Machiavellian scheme to induce a reaction because, oh god, someone might have suggested that you had a period. So, this is what I know. I know that the title and the thumbnail are the things that made Jerry lose his shit. Though I do think it was the edited picture to give Jerry that authentic 5 o'clock shadow is what really steamed him. You wouldn't mind cleaning yourself up the next time you come on camera, for fuck's sake. Fucking slob. So, to quote Silverquill, some creepy guy with gender identity issues is having his fake, made-up, cringy roleplay wife fight for him. So this is where it gets fun. I'm going to go to jail. Oh boy, what will I ever do? The Canadian Mounties are coming to get me. Oh. You know what, I'm moving right along. No, Jerry, no. Your stupid bitch copyright struck me. I appealed. I threw her 2 lines of text. I admit to being an asshole. So this is what's gonna happen. Hopefully, I will win that appeal because Lily Pete and his girlfriend are piss fucking poor. Calling it now, old Jerry here will start a GoFundMe campaign to sue me. Kind of like Digital Homicide did when they went after Jim Sterling. And even then, if you do manage to raise the money, I'm kinda not worried. Knowing old Jerry, he'll pocket the money. So yeah, the strike hit this Monday. That's 10 days, no weekends, no holidays. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna include a link to the more accurate depictions of Jerry and his man scruff. This artwork has been altered by Theperson. There'll be a link to Theperson's channel. That will be in the description down below. I encourage, the moment I win the claim, for every member of the Brony community or anyone else to feel free to use these transformative works from Lizzie Orchid. I could point out the hypocrisy here based on Lily's behavior during the Sapphire Heartsong fiasco. I myself, ANY, Toon Critic, Mindless Gonzo, and Jim Fear have all had a good bright laugh on this matter. So let me ask you this. Jerry, the Grand High King of blocking people, is utterly hopeless and helpless when I send his girlfriend a message that there was no other way that could have possibly have made life easier for the authorities. It's the same account I've always sent her messages on, like every time. 1 email. So I'll be waiting for the Royal Canadian Mounties to come pick me up. Toodles. A while ago I alluded to the varying levels of cinnamon rolls, those pure souls not long for this world. The problem is, I had trouble gauging, oddly enough, that so-called purity, who would think. I have a channel called Fanon Frenzy. For lols, I made a video called What Are SJWs? You Might Be an SJW If, with a 1 to 20 scoring system. It seems to give a pretty damn good read by the people I've talked to who took it. So once again, I'm going to list off potential symptoms of being a cinnamon roll, and a scoring chart to let you know your purity. Remember, only you can be honest with you. Number 1, if you've clicked on porn, and you either hit the back button immediately, or canceled out of the tab, or the Explorer entirely, and it's likely that you went back and deleted your search history because you don't bother with such filth. Number 2, you firmly cover up your eyes through all the scary parts in the horror movies. The sight of blood in pictures and videos, or real life, is wholly unnerving to you. Number 3, if you have stuffed animals or plushies in your bed, and in times of great stress you reach out to hug and talk to them. Number 4, when you get emotionally worked up, not only are you prone to cry, but remembering that you cried makes you sad. Number 5, you have a preferred happy song that you hum in your head in either great times of joy or stress. Number 6, when drama comes up in the discussion, you either flee from the situation or you try to change the topic immediately. Number 7, you can't have a text conversation with less than 5 emojis. Number 8, in confrontations, cinnamon rolls tend to seize up and ignore the issue entirely. Number 9, in a moment of great sadness, you will loudly sigh and wait until you are properly noticed and attended to. Number 10, in your personal collection of stuffed animals, you have no less than 2 to 3 on display in your room, and the closet doesn't count. 12, when someone is sad, cinnamon rolls coincidentally just so happen to be sad as well. Number 13, cinnamon rolls have a hard time standing up for themselves, even for the most basic of reasons, and are very wary of saying no. They are likely to just stop talking and hope that you understand you don't want to do whatever you're asking them to. Number 14, cinnamon rolls have a hard time putting their foot down. Number 15, you have no less than 3 friends asking you to do bullcrap that you have no interest in doing, but you can't man or woman up enough to say no. Number 16, you are amazing at making up excuses for people who piss off everyone else. Number 17, being uncomfortable will often outweigh your own basic needs, including being too embarrassed to say that you're hungry or tired or otherwise, just so you don't have to be the bad girl or bad guy. Number 18, there's nothing a good cry can't fix. Number 19, when someone swears, you openly gasp and feel shock. Number 20, you worry about your significant other within the first hour of waking up each day, or before going to bed at night. Number 21, when asked about your 3 favorite musicals, you can't even narrow it down. Number 22, if you're watching or reading something with a sad scene, and you even know that it turns out okay and yet you're still bummed out. Number 23, if your voice squeaks when you get overly excited. Alright, let's look at that chart. 0, you're dead inside. 1 to 2, you've seen things, man. There's a faint flicker of hope buried deep inside you. 3 to 4, you're a super edgy tryhard that prays like hell that no one will ever know about how insecure you are. 5 to 6, you're comfortable with yourself and sadly those around you have felt it. 7 to 8, people are keenly aware how sensitive you are. 9 to 10, you can get along with people if you get special treatment. 11 to 12, your more casual friends can handle you for about an hour tops. 13 to 14, everyone in the room is only as happy as you are. 15 to 16, people actively either leave the room or confront your presence aggressively. 17 to 18, you aren't capable of functioning in large rooms for periods over 5 minutes. 19 to 20, you would drop dead if someone were to cast a strong light on you. You are the glassiest of glassy people in the world. You are a legend. Alright, disclaimer, I don't hate Boon Slayer. Cool guy, by the way. Don't think I could if I tried, and you shouldn't either. He just showed me this video here called Boon Canon 32, where he covers Just a Robot, aka Jar. Because this video is 1 hour 10 minutes, and jumps around like it's an acid trip, I will not be using all of it. You could argue this doesn't belong, but this time, I think you might be wrong. Now, I'm skipping a lot of material, hell, even a lot of good material. On the point of nihilistic Snake's response to Just a Robot or Jar in under 24 hours, simply put, I'm not going to die for that asshole. Some simple advice, Boon. If your counterpoint is maybe, paraphrasing, or not necessary, it starts to borderline contrarian in nature. I said borderline because I'd always give Boon the benefit of the doubt. I think his heart is in the right place. Just my advice, these points feel better left to the discussion page and notes below the video. Now let's get to the fun stuff.
Let me enlighten you real quick, okay, about how this works, okay? Let me enlighten you about your own history since you seem to have forgotten it in your own stupidity, right? You failed as a commentator. You failed as a ranter twice over. And truthfully, everybody knows you're going to fail as a commentator again, because that's what you do best to Megadupe. You fail. The ultimate ranter. More like the ultimate joke.
Boom. This is how you cut a promo. No matter how silly or goofy you might look, kids, you gotta be confident. Whether you just laugh with or at Boon, this is exactly how to do your job. It's about 5 minutes into this video if you watch nothing else from this piece. Go check out Boon Slayer's promo. I'm not going to play it all here for the respect for the content creator. And personally, it's the best part of the video. So I want people to feel the need to go peek at his work. Not to mention there's another one right next to it. It's exactly how you want to cut a live piece. Nobody looks like they're reading a script. It feels natural and nobody is stuttering or stammering. 10 out of 10. But this is the real reason why I had to share my 2 cents that's super relevant to us, and quite frankly every content creator online. This is a universal cross-appeal moment in the video.
The members of the Neo commentary community strike me as people who just want to make videos for fun. And they're not really in it for the money. But for the ones who are in it for the money, you guys are complete fucking retards.
So this is the statement that really made me feel that my response was necessary. Namely, because it means that this statement indicates he really is addressing this to me. Because I am one of the 3 people who's known as wanting to do YouTube professionally that's considered a part of the Neo CC. The other 2 being Doodle and Ryan. And Yes, he's going to play a clip that specifically implicates Rion in this as well, so that's part of what I'm going to add. The perspective of someone who actually is doing this for the money. Although doing YouTube for the money and doing YouTube for fun are not necessarily mutually exclusive. If you're just doing it for the money, by the way, you're doing it for the fucking wrong reason.
Now, I cut a little bit. I even think the part that I showed was a little long. Rion Rhino Mills' name got brought up, and this is something exactly that I've pointed to several times to my peers. Let's hear Ryan's part real quick.
I want to get somewhere with this channel, okay? I've wanted to do videos as a living for years now, and whether I want to admit it or not, commentaries are just not that huge of an appeal.
Dear Ryan, a while ago, you said, I just wanted to tear people down. I got some good news. There is literally nothing I can do to hurt you in this next part. You've put a significant amount of work into your videos, and most of the time, you're funny as hell. There is no logic or point that's going to undo any of that. However, this is Ryan's last 12 videos. There are about 10 live streams, an update video, which, if you know anything about YouTube, labeling an update is like labeling it cancer. Look around on virtually any channel and gauge the views. And then there's one commentary. See, I thought about pointing this out about months ago, but if you look back at the last 12 videos before that, it's virtually the same fucking thing. Is Ryan good enough and well-liked and well enough known to get away with a subscriber burn? Sure, looks like it, but being hypercritical, let's play that Ryan clip at the start.
I want to get somewhere with this channel, okay? I've wanted to do videos as a living for years now, and whether I want to admit it or not, commentaries are just not that huge of an appeal.
If you want to be the biggest CC guy, if you want to be beloved, and maybe in a year you want to be 3,000, 4,000 subs, maybe your views will gradually climb. I see no reason not to suggest that that won't happen, and you could ignore all of this. If you want to do this for a living as either solo income or to help pay for rent down the line, and this isn't just aimed at Ryan, I can put this on Jar. When he talked about retardation, Jar has about 5,000 subs. If you go back 6 months, his view ceiling is about 6,000. This is a long way from bad numbers or underperforming for his channel. Even his more recent numbers are still a long way from being terrible. I've seen channels with nearly 20k subs struggle to come anywhere near this. You could roll these 3 channels together, from Ryan to Jar to Boon, hell, maybe even Toon Critic in there, and you would be hard-pressed to make a living. And that was before the Google AdSense gravy train started to derail, such as it was. This is the only guy I know who can comfortably say he makes a living on YouTube, and generally it's because his Patreon makes $4,500. It got that high because he remained dedicated to his craft. He didn't stream 10 times a month. He kept active with his audience, making a secondary vlog channel, Digi After Dark. Now, if you're Ryan and going, but if I make a streaming channel, no one would watch it. And that's exactly what I remember telling Wolfkeen from the Brony fandom about it having a gaming channel 2 years ago. It was stupid then, and it's stupid now. Digi could have flooded his channel with vlogs and used his friends, the procrastinators, to maintain some relatively healthy numbers. But he wouldn't have made a living doing that. Also, Boon, Digi did do it for the money. I wouldn't call it stupid, it seems to have worked nicely for him. Now, some might argue his views have dipped off, and maybe his vlogs have started to take up a bit more of his time, but he's built up a fan base where he can kind of get away with that for a little bit. Ryan, everybody loves you. You know that. You have to know that. Well, nearly everyone. Might I suggest that you get a few thousand more people to love you before you go on these long extended breaks? To Jar, part of getting over enough to make that kind of money, whether you're seeking to or not, comes from following trends, pushing yourself. And while you seem to have a good release schedule for a commentator, you, I, and anyone else in this discussion is a long, long, long way of making a living of this. And the only checks any of you guys are cashing are going to be signed from reality. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.